the SAS, against explicit orders to stand down, defied their command and decided to take matters into their own hands.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out a video from Medic. Now, it's been a while since we checked out something from his channel, but I gotta say, this is a great topic to come back with. This is about the SAS that got captured in Iraq and the incredible operation to get them back. So, it is also December. You can see I'm gonna start rocking the Christmas sweaters or Christmas jumpers, whatever you guys wanna call it. So, yeah, that's how I'm gonna be getting into the spirits. I don't really have any... I guess I can try and get some stuff for the background for the next video, but yeah, this is what we're rocking with right now. Now, this is Iraq in 2005, so a little different, kind of different from the second half of the global war on terror that I was exposed to. And yeah, we already know the Special Air Service does not mess around. And if you're trying to kidnap their guys, I don't really know if that's going to end up too well for you. And of course, Medic does a great job at telling these stories. So let's get into it because I'm very excited.
Monday, September 19th, 2005. Two British operatives conducting covert surveillance in the hostile city of Basra, Iraq, are taken prisoner of war after being compromised by a group of corrupt Iraqi police following a tense shootout turned car chase. But little did their captors know that the two men were special operators of the British Army's Tier 1 unit, the 22nd SAS, unleashing a hellish response from their pissed-off teammates. And after being given explicit orders to stand down, the SAS unit denied their leadership and executed a rogue hostage rescue mission.
Nice. So really no ROEs, huh? Straight vengeance. Ooh, okay. Damn. The intro, though. Damn, this is hype. They got all the old school footage, too.
2 years following the invasion of Iraq, and 1 year despite the capture of Saddam Hussein, in 2005, Iraq was becoming as hostile as ever, and the small southern city of Basra was no exception. As September 5th of that same year, 2 British soldiers would be killed in Basra by a roadside IED, and only 2 days later, on September 7th, 16 Basran civilians would perish following a car bomb. Given this cluster of violence, U.S. and coalition forces began to zero in on Basra and quickly learned the city was run by an incompetent and corrupt police chief.
Yeah, I mean, the police corruption is kind of something that we saw pretty significantly throughout Iraq and just the global war on terror in general, just corruption in general, to be honest. I gotta say, the editing though is freaking awesome on this, especially with the old school video.
Began to zero in on Basra and quickly learned the city was run by an incompetent and corrupt police chief linked to the Mahdi terror cell, who British SBS and SRR commandos targeted during a critical counterinsurgency campaign. This police chief was a crucial link for the notorious British intelligence agency, MI6, who quickly chartered a mission.
Damn, the old school London footage.
Of which they assigned 2 special operators from the Tier 1 unit, the 22nd SAS, the British equivalent of Delta Force.
Yes, sir.
Their objective, to keep eyes and ears on the police chief within the city of Basra. These special operators,
that's cool, dude,
were to dress in native garbs and fully embed themselves within the city.
Dude, like, that's not really something I heard or really was exposed to at all for the GWAT. Like, surveillance, especially surveillance on, like, a police chief, that's a pretty freaking cool mission set, especially just going out, trying to blend in with the populace. Must be pretty tough, I guess, dependent on, you know, what you look like and stuff, but... Me, I don't know if I would really fit in too well, to be honest. With the SAS, I imagine they have a lot at their disposal, especially if it's meaningful enough. I mean, you'll have people that will learn languages just in preparation for these types of operations.
The mission was to gather intelligence and perform a wreck by tailing the chief and his officers while operating an inconspicuous Iraqi taxicab. And by September 19th, the mission was a go. Campbell
Super
and
yellow.
Griffith entered the city of Basra and positively ID'd the chief. However, during their tail, the two were forced to merge into an Iraqi checkpoint. The men attempted to skate through, but the officers, recognizing their British accents, quickly became hostile. The officers ordered the operators out of the car, at which point Campbell and Griffith simultaneously opened fire, killing two officers at the checkpoint. They hit the gas and made a run for the city, but their gutless taxi cab made evasion nearly impossible. They hopped out on foot and were quickly cornered by an angry mob and taken into custody.
A mob? Jeez.
Police.
Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, the accents will definitely do it, but that's just super unlucky for them.
Basra police sent photographs of Campbell and Griffith to a popular Iraqi news outlet, celebrating their capture. Meanwhile, the bureaucrats back in London were taken by surprise and slow to act. However, in the city of Baghdad, news...
I get it, you know, if they didn't have like the best support infrastructure set up in this specific area, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time maybe to plan and get those forces ready, or, you know, trying to go the political routes, which it is what it is, if that ends up working out. But of course, like we kind of heard in the intro, those other SAS guys are definitely going to be down to kind of jump to the thick of it to help their brothers out. Even with kind of like minimal planning, yeah, they're definitely well trained enough, and I think they understood enough to be able to go in there and be pretty successful.
SAS's Special Forces Support Group, in the form of a TV broadcast depicting the men beaten and subdued, and in queue for capital punishment. The SAS team took immediate action.
Oh, dude, especially, yeah, right away.
Hightailed it to Basra and began plotting out a sophisticated rescue mission.
Hell
SAS
yeah.
operators closer to the region, on the outskirts of Basra, vectored a Predator UAV and began maintaining 24-hour surveillance on the prison. Meanwhile, British infantry and armored units
good intel.
were dispatched to surround the prison.
Oh, dude, they're not messing around.
Gathering
Hell
of
yeah.
locals ensued.
That would have been great to be part of that
Fueled by
operation.
anti-coalition sentiments grew increasingly agitated, and the British government took advantage of the chaos by authorizing the immediate rescue of the operators inside. As the SAS teams from Baghdad arrived in the area of Basra and began their loadout, the protesters' agitations quickly turned to violence. The crowds pelted the British forces with stones and Molotov cocktails,
Oh, damn.
resulting in a Warrior IFV catching on fire and causing injuries to 3 soldiers. And with resistance from both protesters and militants, the streets of Basra quickly turned into a battleground.
Oh, dude. I didn't know it was this
Further
big of an
escalation,
operation. Holy
The
cow.
British government issued immediate orders for the SAS to stand down and the infantrymen to retreat, leaving Campbell and Griffith stranded and in the hands of the Basra police. And with time running out,
Yeah,
the pair
for real,
fought to
dude.
keep themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. Once you've kind of established a foothold already and allocated all these resources to that area, especially like in the actual vicinity, I understand there's going to be some backlash, but kind of pushing out and hightailing it because of that, yeah, it's going to make their timeline, the guys who are in custody, it's going to make their timeline a little bit shorter for sure. And I'm sure the SAS operators definitely felt that pressure.
Alive by giving their captors just enough information without compromising any real secrets, a skill set SAS operators obtained as far back as selection. Meanwhile, the British government began to take a more diplomatic approach in their recovery after sending 2 British officers to the prison to deliver an ultimatum. Their mission took an unexpected turn when they too were captured and held within the confines of the prison.
Dude,
And to
okay.
make matters worse, simultaneously, the Iraqi police opted to hand over Campbell and Griffiths to the Iraqi militia. They were disguised once again in local garbs and then placed in the trunk of a police car destined for a nearby safe house. Unbeknownst to the Iraqi authorities,
Hell no.
the UAV overhead tracked
Sketchy.
the relocation, concerned that their fellow operators might face execution at the hands of the Iraqi militia. The SAS, against explicit orders to stand down, defied their command and decided to take matters into their own hands.
Good stuff. Nice, dude. I like the hype and the build up, especially like breaking it into parts. Yeah, if they're taking them out of the prison, especially low key.
Authorized conventional forces to conduct a raid on the police station and free the captured officers. The SAS took advantage of this window and conducted a simultaneous raid of their own on the safe house. And by 9 p.m., Warrior IFVs and Challenger tanks breached the prison wall,
Dude, hell yeah.
units and a select few SAS operators from A Squadron to stage a swift rescue of the officers, as the remainder of A Squadron launched their assault on the safe house.
The footage for that must have been crazy if they had any.
The team flooded the building through numerous entry points, imposing textbook hostage rescue tactics, disorienting the captors and controlling the violence. As they made their way through the compound, Campbell and Griffiths were nowhere in sight, leading the team to fear that the pair were moved once again. However, a further sweep into the compound revealed Campbell and Griffith handcuffed in a bathroom and still alive.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Good stuff. That must have been a freaking relief. Especially after the first sweep, not finding them. So I wonder how many guys they had to take down during that raid.
The team provided medical attention and extracted the men from the compound. By all accounts, the mission unfolded seamlessly and without a hitch, including the infantry assault and rescue of the British officers within the Basra prison. Eyewitness reports claimed over 150 prisoners escaped during the assault, many of whom were falsely imprisoned. Calls
Damn, everybody's getting out.
Into both Griffith and Campbell's capture and the subsequent events which followed. The Ministry of Defense initially attempted to deny that the unauthorized rescue mission ever took place, but later retroactively sanctioned the mission, arguably due to its success. 1 year later, on December 25th,
they tore that thing down.
2006, as part of Operation Sinbad, British troops from the 1st Battalion, the Staffordshire Regiment, raided the Basra police station once again, killing 7 armed Shia militants and freeing 127 prisoners illegally detained and on the path to execution.
Damn, my prison's got some history then.
Entirely. In the end,
we're not doing this
SAS
again.
stayed true to and exemplified their motto.
Yo, true that. That's a perfect example.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more mini docs in the works, and you don't want to miss.
Hell yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure I'm subscribed. Sometimes, like, I feel like I get unsubscribed randomly, so I'm going to double check and make sure I am still subscribed. All right, we're good. Okay, yeah, that was a fantastic video. Pretty much everything I expected from Popo Medic. Again, just does a fantastic job. I think he can just get, like, the most boring topic ever and just make it super interesting with the editing and the clips. And again, just the narration, the whole vibe, like the 80s vibe is just great, especially for these kind of like, I mean, it was 2005, not necessarily that old, like the 80s, but I think it just works with kind of like slightly retro footage that we're seeing, especially like war footage. Yeah, so I have heard about this operation before. I didn't know it was that big as far as like a whole infantry assault. I didn't know about the officers that got taken when they were trying to do the whole liaison thing. Man, I bet those infantry guys had fun with that, just demoing the walls and stuff, basically. Yeah, so if you guys have any other background info, or, you know, if y'all actually took part in this operation, let me know, because I always hear some really, really incredible stories from y'all down in the comments section, and it's always kind of like mind-blowing and also kind of humbling. You know, I think I've had a pretty interesting military career so far, but some of the stories you guys tell me, it's like from one kind of deployment, that's like that's enough for like a whole career right there. So very interesting stuff. Definitely keep those personal stories down in the comment section because I love to read them. If you guys have any other context to add, I would appreciate it. And if you guys have any other videos or any other stories like this, so I can try and see if there are any videos out there, then let me know about those down in the comment section, because there's a lot. Even from like Iraq and Afghanistan, I thought I've heard like, you know, a decent amount of them, whether it be from when I was in or, you know, kind of my supervisors. But yeah, you guys have some really interesting stuff from other militaries as well. I mean, I wasn't even aware of how much like foreign militaries deployed, like the Swedes and the Finns and everything. I wasn't even aware of how much they deployed to these areas of operation. So yeah, really interesting stuff. So I'd appreciate if you guys would share more of that in the comment section. That's definitely my favorite part. It's kind of learning more about the community and kind of hearing y'all's experiences from your military careers. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Popo Medic, fantastic job. I'll put the original video in the description if you guys want to go and check it out. Definitely go and check his channel out because he's got some great stuff. And you can see on our channel, we've reacted to his a couple times. And, you know, he's pretty cool about letting us do that. So that's great as well. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That is it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.